to Daisha Breedlove Presents, and today I have my very special guest joining me back. J-Will is in the building, y'all.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Thank you for having me back.
Yes, thank you for joining me. I mean, we had so much fun the last show. You had to join me again for another show. So thank you for coming.
I'm honored. Thank you for having me again.
Yes.
Let's get it.
So today, the topic is going to be dating with kids. Now, Jay, have you had an experience where you dated a woman with kids before?
Kids, no. A child, yes.
Oh,
and I
okay.
definitely believe that matters.
Yeah.
A child versus kids.
Okay.
But yes, a child, yes.
Nice. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, so he has experienced that before, and we are going to touch base on that later. But first, I'm going to share with you guys an article that I was reading that really caught my attention. It was about a lady who did date a man with kids before, and she had a really bad experience. So she's going to tell us a little bit about that today. Here's what she said, and she had to talk to the viewers about why you shouldn't date a man with kids. Alright, so this is what she said first. If you're a 20 to 30-year-old woman without any children, I'll caution you against dating a man with kids. I did this once and learned my lesson. If a woman wants greater importance than his kids, she's being seen as insensitive. I dated a cop on and off for about 6 years, and I had to admit that love kept me from realizing how big of a problem it was. I recently had asked him to have a friendly platonic drink to celebrate my promotion, and here's what happened. He ended up canceling on me the day of because his youngest had hit her head, so he was in the emergency room the entire night. I mean, I can totally understand why he had to cancel, but this situation did remind me why it could not work and why I prefer no kids. The girl's mother also had a demanding job, so she was never available to be with her own kids. So, this brings me to my first point. If you do date a man with kids, never expect to come first. I am also rational, so I do realize that a man's children should always come first. But this does create conflict because a woman does want to feel secure and wanted in their relationship. But again, if she demands greater importance, she's apparently being seen as insensitive. Another issue is the possibility of baby mama drama. Now, the father will always be connected to the mother, so she has the perfect excuse to call anytime she wants. I've not only dated a man with kids, but my dad also left us for another woman. And I honestly resented their relationship because I felt she took my father away. So basically, if you date a man with kids, then you will be the hated stepmother. My advice to you women is save yourself the headache and the heartache. Wow. Okay. Now, I'm not going to, that was from an anonymous lady, but that was her thoughts on that.
I'm praying for you, anonymous lady.
Yes.
Prayer.
And I'm sorry that happened to you. Now, I feel like it's I feel like it can and cannot work, but first, Jay, I want to hear what your thoughts were after you heard that letter.
I think she should have started with the end and then proceeded with the beginning. In that she's already scorned from something that's happened to her past as it relates to her father.
Yeah.
And in our culture, oftentimes, these energies, these issues, those are cultural issues. So I think she said it at the end, what she should have started with. I believe that
by basically that she, with her having that situation when she was younger, that's why it kind of shaped her mind on that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? And that's culture, that's what she was raised around. But so that said, I understand her position. However, again, she said everything that she knows to be accurate. Like, the children come first.
Yeah.
And if and when you decide to date someone with children, you should already understand that.
Yeah.
That's my position on that.
Exactly.
So I was back and forth with her because she was saying the right stuff, but she was wanting the wrong outcome. There you go. Yeah. Perfect. That's my thing.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what your experience was like. Well, first, do you feel that a situation can work and you can be happily dating someone with kids?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Children, a child and or kids, I believe. And it's all about the connection, I guess, between the two adults in the situation.
Yeah.
And when you have children involved, that's the most important point, is to be adults about the decisions you make, because it affects all the children.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's my position on that. That's how I feel on that.
Okay, perfect. Now tell us a little bit about what your experience was like dating someone with kids. Now you said it was only one child, right?
One child.
Okay.
One child. I almost said first experience, but I don't want to count
Oh, so
it down.
you're saying, wait, so Jay's saying it was multiple experiences.
I love children.
Oh,
I love
okay.
children. I work a lot with inner city youth and everything like that, so I never mind children. I love children. I think children are an enhancement to the relationship.
So you welcome them?
Well, I welcome them.
Yeah.
I welcome them. Child, let me rephrase that.
A child.
Not children. If it's too many, pray for me. I got to work on that. I need a little bit more in the bank. But anyway, the situation was, it was a learning situation the first time. And whereas she was a nurse, she was always at work. And I remember her daughter, I don't want to mention her or her daughter's name, was having some issues in school. But my schedule allowed me to be able to go in and try to help in that situation. So
now, did she well, sorry to cut you off, but did she tell you before you guys started dating, like, okay, I just want to let you know I have a child, or was it kind of like a surprise after you guys got to know each other?
She told me up front.
Oh,
She definitely told me up front. I mean, she told me right up front too.
See, I highly suggest that, ladies. If you do have kids, please do not try to hide that you have kids with who you're dating. It will only make things worse.
Well, not even just make things worse. What type of individual are you to hide the fact that you have children?
Exactly.
That should be your prized possession.
I feel like that's almost like denying your kids.
Exactly my point. So
yeah.
if you're not revealing that you have children, then I'm concerned about what else you're not revealing. Because children should be your prized possession in life.
Nice.
My opinion.
So she told you from the beginning, and that's good. So how did you feel about that when she told you?
I was excited to meet her daughter.
Aww. And how old was she at the time?
She was 6 at the time.
That's amazing.
She was 6 at the time, yeah.
See, I feel like it definitely can work. Like you said, long as everybody's honest up front and you have that option to make a choice if you want to proceed with the relationship or not. And you know, that's a very good point. And with that thought, we'll be back in a minute, guys. And we're back to Daisha Breedlove Presents. And we was just touching base with Jay on how he has had a situation where he dated a woman with kids. And you said, Jay, she did let you know up front and you kind of had the choice to make a decision after she told you that.
Absolutely. As anyone should, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so when she told you that, were you excited to meet the kid, or how were you feeling when she let you know? Or were you like kind of iffy because you don't have any kids yet, or how was that?
I was very excited. I work a lot with children, so I enjoy children tremendously. But besides that, I think children are a good indicator of their parents and their upbringing as well. So it lets me know, just by seeing the child, how the child was raised. It gives me insight as to the parenting. Yeah,
definitely. So do you feel like if she would have had more than one child, that kind of would have affected the relationship?
I would take it into further consideration. Is that the right term? I mean, I would have to think a little bit harder on it, because I understand that each child is an independent responsibility. And if I come into this lady's life, I come into these children's life. So I'm committing to not just her, but every single one of her children.
Yeah.
So I just got to make sure that I understand what I'm stepping into.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, ladies, it's very good to make sure up front that's not something that you hide, just because the guy can think that you're hiding other things. And also, you know, he can make a decision based on if he wants to take the relationship further or not, rather than finding out things later, you know, in the past. In the future, actually. Sorry, not the past, the future.
Right.
But speaking on that, I actually personally had a situation where I was dating a guy, and he told me he only had 2 kids, and he had 3. Now, you know, knowing that he already had kids, I kind of already did make the decision, like, okay, as long as you're a good dad and the kids, and, you know, there's no baby mama drama, it's something that, you know, I probably could deal with. But like you said, once you start, I find out about other kids, and that makes me, you know, think how many other kids you're hiding. You know, you don't know how to think. You know, you don't know what to think after that.
Right.
You know, so I feel like with you, like you're right. Definitely be straightforward. That men and women, that way we can make the decision on if you want to take the relationship further or not. Especially if you don't have any kids of your own. You know. So next, we're going to talk about some celebrity relationships that actually did work out.
Okay.
Now they did have more than one kid. Some had one and some had multiple. But these were successful relationships that actually did work out. So
Can we add that they're probably Are you talking about millionaires?
yeah,
Oh,
they
well,
are
that makes a
successful.
difference. That makes a difference.
They are successful, yeah. I mean, it does make a difference, but then again, I'm talking about not just the money aspect, but the emotional part of it too. Because women, you know, we can be very needy at times, you know. So especially again, if you don't have a child of your own, you know, women, they love attention.
Right.
So that may be a conflict versus you got to cater to your child before your woman if they don't have kids, you know, want to come first. So, you know, Jay's right. These people who I'm going to name next are already successful, but apparently they did kind of struggle in dealing with the whole kid situation. So, first person I'm going to name is Cardi B and Offset. Now, they do have a successful marriage right now, but when they originally started dating, Cardi B did not have any kids of her own, and Offset already had 3.
Right.
So she had to make a decision if, you know, she wanted to kind of play stepmother or if it was kind of going to be an issue. But apparently it wasn't, because they're married to this day and they have a child of their own. So kudos to you guys. The next, yeah, they are. But the next one we're going to go into is D'Angelo Russell and Sierra.
Okay.
Now, when they originally started dating, Sierra already did have a child and D'Angelo Russell didn't have any. But as you can see with the pictures, it's pulled up on the screen, they already, as you can see, they look like a happy family. D'Angelo Russell looked like he's playing stepfather and, you know, baby Future is just sitting there smiling. So it looked like it did work out apparently.
Super rich.
But, you know, it still looks like that they didn't let that get in the way, you know, that she already had a kid beforehand.
Right.
So kudos to that. Number 3, Jada, Pickett, and Will Smith. Now, I was also doing some research on this topic and their relationship, and apparently at the beginning, Jada Pickett did have some issues with Will Smith's baby mother at the beginning of their relationship. You know, because, oh, you do remember.
Oh, I remember.
What do you remember about that, Jay?
Oh, they was, I mean, Jada.
Look, you don't want to speak to some.
Right.
No, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I just know, I remember Jada was just really aggressive in how she was dealing with, I think Trey's mother, which I believe is Will Smith's oldest son.
Yeah. His name is Trey.
Exactly. I think it started off rather aggressively, you know, but
because did you hear that? Sorry to cut you off, but did you hear that she used to call them a lot, or what did you?
And it's the same thing that, you know, applies when there's a child in a relationship, especially when you're sleeping with the parent of the child.
It gets emotional for her.
And it's gonna happen, you know, and it happened with them. But you know, you seen Set It Off. Jada ain't the one to play with.
Jada ain't the one to play with.
So, you know, she was ready to set it off. But
Yeah.
they calmed down, and I respect Will Smith for being able to get that, you know, situation under control as well, because it is the responsibility of the parent in the middle, if you will, because you created this situation. So
exactly.
he was able to handle it, and I wish that more people out there would do it in their relationships as well.
Yeah, for sure. And they actually really got cool after that. You know, to this day.
Almost best friends now, right?
Yeah, they have a really good relationship, and as you guys can see, we're gonna pull it up on the screen. Jada Pickett and Will Smith's son Trey, they seem very close, and they have grown to have a very loving relationship, and I think that's amazing.
It is.
It's
and
amazing.
It's very authentic. You can tell.
So it's possible, exactly. You can tell it's very authentic, and they have a really strong bond, you know, that has grown over the years. No matter how it started at the beginning, they somehow, you know, were both adults and came to the conclusion that, you know, I'm here and your child is here and we're both not going anywhere, so we might as well make it work.
You said the key word, and that's what we're missing a lot of times when it comes to parenting and children, is the adulting.
Yeah.
And they elected to adult.
Exactly.
And that's what's necessary. And that's why I believe they were able to work through their issues and continue to adult
Exactly.
So yeah,
Yes.
hats off to them all.
Yes, for sure.
They worked that out.
Mm-hmm.
But they super rich.
Yeah.
Just have
Right.
to throw that in there.
Well, as you can see, it is possible, and a relationship can even start wrong and end up outstanding. So kudos to you guys for being very mature about that.
Absolutely.
Now let's move on to the next one.
All right, let's go.
Number 4, Aniko Hart and Kevin Hart.
Sure.
Now, Kevin Hart already had 2 kids, and Aniko didn't have any when they originally started this relationship. We're going to pull their picture up also. And as you can see, they have a very loving relationship. Aniko is very close with the 2 kids, and her and Kevin Hart also have a child together and also are expecting one at the moment.
Beautiful family.
Yes, and kudos to that, because I heard also at the beginning of their relationship, that was an issue. And a lot of people apparently were saying that he, married her and didn't marry his kid's mother, when I feel like, that's their own personal choice. Maybe they had a connection, that the first mother they didn't have.
Right.
So people always are going to say something regardless, but Kevin Hart, you look like you're very happy, and congratulations on you guys expecting your another child.
And your wife. She
Yes,
looks very happy
she
as
looks
well.
very happy. Congratulations
Absolutely.
to that.
Absolutely.
For sure. Okay, so moving on. And the last one we're going to go to is J-Lo and Alex Rodriguez.
They keep getting richer and richer.
Oh, Jay, you have to take a drink on that one. Look.
They keep getting richer and richer.
Right?
Go ahead. Let's talk about them.
Well, apparently when they started their relationship, Alex already had 2 kids and J-Lo already had 2 kids. They do not have a child together, but they both have a very happy conjoined family. We're going to put that picture up also. And as you guys can see, here they are all in the bed, J-Lo's kids and his 2 kids, and they look very happy. And they don't have, they made it work.
Okay.
They made it work. So kudos to J-Lo and Alex. Look at Jay. They are rich, but they look very happy. You can't buy happiness, so kudos to that.
Well,
So,
I'm sorry.
what'd you say, Jay?
May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's my point in bringing up the fact that they rich is
Yeah.
because I feel like it actually assists in them buying happiness in these circumstances. Actually.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's the financial status that allows them to walk into these situations and everybody continue to be happy, go
Yeah.
lucky, right?
Yeah, because we do know kids are expensive.
Exactly, but pull up a picture. You got a picture of Pookie and Krishanda?
No,
And how they doing with Krishanda, with they couple of kids? I don't know if they get
So they're doing
along.
bad.
I don't think they working out.
So we're gonna say that for next week's episode. We gotta talk about that. We gotta do some more investigation on that. But yeah, that's the negative. Right now, today we're gonna talk about the positive relationships that can work, and then next week we're gonna talk about the ones who, show that having kids or being in a relationship with kids that are not yours can be an issue. But we're gonna say that for next week.
Okay.
But moral of the story is, whatever works for you, long as you are happy, I feel like any situation can work. No matter if you're dealing with a man with kids, if you're dealing with a man without kids. Me personally, I would say I prefer to date a man without kids, but I have also dated a man with kids, and hey, if we can make it work and we're both happy, there are exceptions that can be made.
Absolutely.
So tune in to next week's show, and we're going to be talking about another juicy topic for you guys. And thank you for joining Daisha Breedlove Presents.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and thank you for joining me, Jay.
I'm glad.
Next week, tune in.